This is one of those things where it's very clear that there is this stop the 2025 world domination agenda. This was a curveball, and I think that a lot of the sellers expected a curveball at the last minute. It's almost as if, this is the art of the deal. He's got to say he's got a good one, then he's got to walk away to show he means business. There were so many people who just said, he needs a win. That's not how he thinks. What he's thinking is that you can buy all you want. The actual structure has to make it so there's no more bogus joint ventures. There's no more stealing of intellectual property. But also there's no more, listen, we're going to dominate the world. You got to change your tone. Will the Chinese change the tone? I don't know. I don't know. But I know that there are a lot of people in the administration who think, look, it is absolutely part of the game. It is. This was my theory that it's not over, that you can get a deal, but this is going to be a multi-month trade practice.
Yeah, David, Reuters has a piece up today saying a lot of trade experts argue, look, China may well prefer to pay the tariffs than change its economic model. And then they go on to say things like market distorting subsidies. We don't have a shared definition of what that is between us and China. So how do you enforce something like that?
Yeah, Carl, it's funny because I keep asking so many of our guests, well, how much downside is there in this market if, in fact, this does not come to fruition, as it appears certainly at this point so many expect it will. And when I listen to Jim and what he's talking about in terms of the ask, sometimes when you're listening, I guess, cross country, I listen very closely to you when you're right there with me, Jim, of course, but I don't know. You're asking for an awful lot, and it's not clear to me at all that if, in fact, what you're asking is what the administration is asking, that you're going to be able to get it, Jim, or in a real way that is measurable and that is enforceable. And if you don't, I asked you this yesterday. I asked a lot of people lately, what's the downside, or how is this going to play out if, in fact, we don't get to an agreement soon, but let's say it's just delayed. It's not as though it falls apart. But even with that, seems like there's a lot of hope right now, given where the S&P is.
Yeah, look, I think, David, there's been this tremendous money coming out of the safe domestic stocks and going into what people feel, and particularly the semis, that we're going to get a deal. Where I'm coming from, David, is that I'm not getting the real pushback that some look. It's not like Sean Hannity, where I'm like in the administration. I'm not in the administration. This is devastating Jane Mayer piece.
You read the New Yorker story.
Devastating Jane Mayer piece.
Clear.
She's some reporter. Holy cow! But yeah, I do think that the hardline camp is going to assert itself here, David. And if the hardline camp gets too hardline, you're going to see Target up 10, but you're going to see some of the semis down 10%, because that's been the group to watch. Look, I like Apple, and I say own it, don't trade it, but Apple's up 7 points off the idea that we're going to have a deal. Some people say it's up 15. If they walk away, you're going to see those points repealed.
Well, how about Boeing? Boeing's having the best start to a year for a Dow stock since Microsoft in 01.
I've been working on a pastiche which says that Boeing's winning because of Airbus really falling down. Boeing, that Vietnamese deal was right in the face of Airbus, right in the face of China. It doesn't matter, though. Even though 1 out of every 4 planes goes to China, but China would be at the end of the queue if they walk away. I agree with you. You'd see that stock at 380. Just boom, 380.